So we are here in Glasgow at the beautiful Royal Concert Hall, and we're rehearsing with the Royal Scottish National Orchestra and Thomas Sondergaard, and we're doing Wynton Marsalis's Violin Concerto. So we thought we'd just kind of take you through one movement per day. So we're going to start with the first movement. The first movement of this piece is, by his description, a kind of dream nightmare sequence. So it starts off almost like a lullaby. So I start with a single note just by myself, which if anybody's watching the With Nikki series, they'll know about bow control. I have to just it should start from like no sound at all and then warm up, and then I start a melody. And then everybody joins me with some beautiful harmony. So we have like maybe, I don't know, 2 minutes of thinking things are all well and peaceful. And then it comes to like a cadence, and from the back of the orchestra, from a few percussion members and a few of the wind members, a very light, soft habanera starts. So you start to get the feeling like this is going to turn into something that you didn't expect. And that habanera has me doing, it's kind of like, I have like parts that are like fairy dust. So I start up high. This kind of thing. And then that builds into a beautiful big climax, and again kind of cuts off and we go in a totally different direction. This is the beginning of what's more like a nightmare than a dream, and starts kind of the main secondary theme, which is march, and it's very kind of, yeah, just military. A lot of the lower strings are playing really heavy. There's a police whistle. There are the trombones playing sirens. They're literally meant to sound like ambulances. The whole thing turns almost like a nightmare, like a city, like the sounds of kind of chaos. And we kind of go through this back and forth throughout the orchestra. It's like a fight between the violin and all the different sections of the orchestra. And that then gives way to what is kind of the, I guess, sort of transitional part of this movement, which is more of a blues. So the melody I'm playing is, Wynton always tells me that I should sound like kind of that cold, but kind of cold sound, kind of like Miles Davis, but I can't sound like Miles Davis to save my life. So I'm playing. I'm trying though. And then we return to a recapitulation of the theme, but instead of playing down in the low register of the violin, I'm playing up in the stratospheres. And it's the most just beautiful, sweet, kind of childlike but warm moment. And the first movement actually mimics all 4 of the movements of the concerto, so it has that structure. So as we enter this fourth part, we're returning to that kind of beautiful theme, but before the movement ends, we hear some slight stomping from members of the orchestra, which, believe it or not, doing a stomp clap is incredibly difficult, and the RSNO, I'm afraid, are no exception to all orchestras in the world that I've played this with. They find it difficult too, despite being Scottish. So we have a stomp clap, and he calls it an ancestral dance. So it's kind of like a bunch of people sort of gathering together around a campfire, and everybody joins in with their different instruments that sound almost like makeshift. So that's how the first movement ends.